Grace Auburn family, you are listening to the Grace Auburn Church Podcast. It is my joy to be back today on the podcast. My name is Lee, and I serve as the host of this podcast, executive pastor here at the church. And today we are jumping back into a series that we basically circle back to when someone new comes onto our team. The series titled, Why Would You Want to Work for a Church, really serves two purposes. It's a way of introducing new staff members to the body, and maybe a short-form digital version before maybe someone gets to actually shake hands with or sit down over a cup of coffee or a meal with someone. But really is an opportunity for us to really, as we were talking before the hitting record this morning, is a way for us to give glory to the Lord and honor Him with how He has led us to this point. And so this spring, we're introducing several new staff members to our team. Karen Haralson is here with me today on the podcast. Welcome, Karen.
Thank you.
So, Karen, so you're new to our staff team, not new to the church, but new in this role as Women's Ministry Director here at Grace Auburn Church, and we cannot be more excited to have you in that role. Really a long time coming in terms of the Lord's leading in your life, kind of a going back to a role that you've served in previous places. With that, I'd love for us to just jump right in. Again, if you've not yet listened to any of these episodes introducing our staff team, I highly encourage you, if you're new to Grace Auburn, to go back and listen to all of them, really as a way of getting to know our staff team and the Lord is working in their life as they've come into the life of this team. Karen, today you're no different. I'm excited to have you here. I'm excited for you to be able to share some of y'all's story as the Lord has faithfully led you guys all over the place and now here to Auburn in this season. So just like everybody else on this series in terms of introductions, I'll really let you start y'all's story wherever you want to jump in. I may interrupt and ask some questions. Sure. But I'll let you take it from here.
Okay, great. I'm super excited to be here and back in Auburn. Moved summer of 23.
Okay.
And so we have been around. Todd and I are originally from Birmingham, and but met at Auburn as students longer ago than we'd like to admit.
We don't need to talk about dates of when. We can leave dates out if you would like.
Good. Okay. So, we never saw ourselves back in Auburn living here. So it's been a gift. We started off our journey, graduating from Auburn, married right out of college, did some youth ministry in Birmingham, and then I tell everybody those first few years of marriage, probably those first 10 years, we're growing up together and figuring out life, figuring out what God has for us in vocationally and as a family and starting a family and all of that. So that all happened for us in Birmingham. And then when Todd had a big career change, that opened up doors for us moving. So I always tell people, I feel like we did this 10-hour radius away from Birmingham, where we were in Houston, Texas, and Northern Virginia outside D.C., and South Florida, and then now back here in Auburn. Yeah. So 2 hours away from family and friends is a lot better than 10.
No doubt.
So we love being here.
Okay. All right. So tell us about, obviously, your role here at Grace Auburn. All things women's ministry, connecting with the ladies of this church, hosting women's gatherings, coordinating all things Bible studies, and really now asking the Lord, and what else, right? Like, how else can we equip the ladies and the women of this church to not only know one another, but to grow in their love for the Lord and for His bride here in this place. Give us a little backstory in terms of your history in that arena, in terms of time in Virginia. Obviously, you guys did youth ministry in Birmingham. What was women's ministry in Virginia like for you? And then how has that informed how you've come into this role, maybe in some ways?
I will mention, I feel like for me, developing just that ministry mindset, investing in women, really started for me in high school, because as I became a believer from an outreach it was the same youth ministry that we worked for after college, but it was through outreach and growth that I had a mentor, young adult leader. She was pouring into me, investing in me. And as I grew through that, even as a senior in high school, she had us leading a freshman Bible study. And so from that, even it got to college and started growing as a Christian there, getting plugged in ministries. And then as I was in my older junior, senior year, beginning to lead a Bible study of freshman girls or sophomore. And so that mindset has always just stuck with me of encouraging women in the Lord, with His Word. Yeah. So that is just a part of me now, and I can't get away from it. So once we moved, and as I've just gotten involved in different, I guess, being a part of Bible studies, facilitating them, leading them, but also just being a part and receiving good teaching over the years. Once we got to Virginia, we were actually part of it's pretty interesting, but part of a Korean American majority church. So it wasn't about us saying, oh, let's do this experiment and see what it's like to be a minority. That wasn't it. It was literally just asking God, where do you want us? We're looking for a church body that has a youth group for our kids, and that, biblical sound teaching and gospel-centered teaching community. And it was that church. And I stress the American side of it because we weren't learning a new language or anything like that. And it really was a church that reminded us so much of our church back home in Birmingham. But that was where I remember one Sunday just seeing the ad that they were hiring a women's director for the first time. And I thought, I wonder if that's something I can do. And so one thing that I've found, just for anybody that's moved, and especially when it's due to your husband's job, it's set up that he knows what he's doing when he gets to that place. Right. And I'm starting to go, besides, just being wife and mom and all that, where do I fit? Where do I belong? And finding my role. And this was it when we were in Virginia, and about 3 years served as women's director there.
Okay. So. All right. So you guys moved here in 23.
Yes.
Obviously continuing to follow his job. Tell us a little more about your family, your kids. Where are they? What are they doing now?
Yeah. Okay. So, and really part of our story of getting to Grace is through our kids. But so we've got 3. Cooper is a senior at Auburn, the university, and then Hope, a sophomore, and then we have a 14-year-old, Caleb, who is at the junior high here. And so when we moved in 23, we had a couple of connections with Grace already. Cooper was attending here. Matt, we knew back in college. Yep. And then one of my college roommates goes here, and so we've been able to reconnect. And so we, that was an easy, like, oh, well, we're definitely going there. Even on a house hunting trip, we came up and stayed with my college roommate and her family, and visited Grace. Even then, I was meeting people at that point going, well, we'll be back. Yeah. So, we came up, and actually, the summer we moved, Hope was involved with staycation with Grace students. I'd been talking to Raina when we were in Florida, sitting there. I remember talking to her, sitting in our bedroom going, we're moving our daughter before her senior year, like, help, like, what do I do? And she said, hey, we've got staycation coming up this summer. That might be a great way for her to connect and meet people. Yeah. And she did. And that was, I kept thinking, I was wondering how that week was going to go. And every day she just went back, and she said it was a group that just really, it wasn't cliquish. It was very welcoming. And they were just doing things around the community. So it was an easy way to plug in as they're serving, but also getting to know each other, and ended the week with Six Flags. There you go. And so it was great. And so after that, we thought, well, there's really no need to visit. Like, we're not touching that. She's connected. Our son is already connected here, friends. And that's so we stayed.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you joined our team at the beginning of this year. Yeah. We announced you in December at our women's gathering then. But before we get to kind of the final question of why in the world do you want to do this and not something else, I'd love to hear kind of your experience as a woman who has come into Grace Auburn, who has found community, and then kind of for maybe the person who's listening to this and they've not yet found community, and whether that's a college age woman, or someone in their 70s who is just trying to find her place here in the same way that you were looking for yours, right? Yeah. How would you encourage them? How would you invite them in? What would you invite them to as you think about what the Lord has begun here at Skyway Drive specifically, but as we think about loving and serving the women of Grace Auburn Church, how would you invite them in?
Okay, great question. So I've seen this play out just in different seasons of as a mom. I'll just or even just age-wise, it does seem like college age, they have Grace Campus and they have the Bible studies and things like that. Anything you can come to and attend that makes the church feel a little smaller is important. That's when you'll start to really meet other women in your season of life, and also important to connect with those outside your season of life, because that's how we learn and grow so much. But I would say with Bible studies, I'll go there, of Tuesday morning, Tuesday evening that we have for our ladies. The most thing I hear when we say, what do you expect to get out of this time? Why are you here? And of course, people want to grow in the Word and in their relationship with the Lord. But what they're looking for and what they say they want most is community. Yeah. And that's why they're there. Yeah. And a lot of women have already said, I really enjoy connecting with women older than me. Like, that has been impactful. And so we've got young adults in both the morning and evening, and more seasoned adults as well, and in between. Yeah, sure. So childcare is offered on Tuesday morning. So that has been a great outlet, even, in that season of feeling like you just can't get much done when you have got little ones and you're just trying to keep them from falling over or feed them, or all the little things you're trying to do at home. And maybe you don't have tons of time in your Bible, but you're able to show up that Tuesday morning and still connect and learn. So, and to answer your question, just community in general, I would say it takes time. Yeah. It takes time, and it takes consistent showing up. Mm-hmm. And really thinking about not so much what can I get out of it, but who can I meet and who can I encourage? I think we really we don't give value to just the presence of just showing up and what that can do, even on a Sunday morning. Yeah. So, yeah. Is there more to add to that? I don't know. Do you have any more to add to that? Yeah, I think I do. Okay. I'm like, you want more? I do. Yeah, keep going. Okay. You're doing great. Yeah. So, yes, community takes time. I think as we're growing as a church, people are going to show up on a Sunday morning. It's very easy to come to the service and leave and never make any connections. Right. And so one thing I enjoyed even just this past Sunday morning was there were moms that they're in that season of maybe the separation anxiety is there and dropping off the baby in the nursery is challenging. And so they're having to take turns with husband, and maybe he's in the service and they're out in the lobby. But I was able to connect with a few moms, even just this past Sunday morning, of just in that season where, this is where we are, baby's crawling on the couch, and this is it. But they're showing up, and their presence matters. And they were a few moms that have been in our church for a long time were able to connect with one that this was her first Sunday. Oh, wow. And her husband has an unconventional job that I can relate to as well. And maybe she's here on Sunday mornings by herself with her little one, but she's meeting moms and knows that there's a Bible study Tuesday morning that she is more than welcome to come to. Yeah. So that has childcare. So, I do think things change for women too in the season they're in. You enter into school years, there's a consistent schedule for the kids, and maybe you're working part-time, maybe you're working full-time, maybe you're not working at all, but trying to find ways to connect with other women, whether through Bible study or the women's gathering, super important, because that's going to make the church the size we are now feel smaller. Yeah. And then as you enter into, your kids get older, more independent, and even these seasons of where you're caring for your parents, or I don't know. There's just so many different things that I think pull at us as women. It is so, so important that we make those efforts and take that time to be together and and connect. So it takes effort,
Yeah,
and
no
it's
doubt.
hard, but it's worth it.
That's good. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't give you a heads up with this question. I want to ask you this
Okay.
question, and if
Okay.
you don't have anything that comes to mind, it's totally okay. As you think about 2026 and beyond, are there things? Obviously, we've been doing some things for a while now. There has been a long line of faithful ladies who have led our women's gatherings and Bible studies for many years now. And those are things that we continue to do. We continue to hold high in terms of priority in our church calendar, and really in making a way for women of this church to connect in a variety of ways. But are there things that you're looking forward to, that you're excited about? And maybe now's not the podcast to announce that, or the place to announce that, but maybe it could be specific things. It could just be a direction that we're going. It could be any number of things. But what are you excited about when you think about women's ministry, when you think about the women here at Grace Auburn Church?
That's a great question, Lee.
All
I
right.
love it.
Okay, good.
Yes, a few things. I would love to see, and actually was just having a conversation about this earlier with a staff person, but just having more women involved in ways that, whether it's for our gatherings, and also this plants the seed for, I would love to see a women's retreat in the next year or two.
Let's go.
I would love to see that.
Okay.
But it's a way to, again, because I feel like so much weigh on moms, and not even just moms, but whether you're single, married, whatever, things, family pressures, work pressures, whatever it can be. Again, community within the body of believers, so important. Any way we can make the bigger church feel smaller, but using the gifts of our women in ways that, hey, it's not necessarily a weekly commitment, but some love decorating and doing centerpieces and flowers and making an environment warm. I love that for a women's event, and then starting to think, okay, what can we do for a retreat where we can connect and we can use our gifts of people that love to be just a greeter, or people, plenty of women don't love greeting but want to do something and have a job or a task. And what are ways we can use the gifts that are so many in our church, within our body of, so the women, whether it's teaching or hospitality or cooking or whatever it is, what are ways we can give them opportunities to use their gifts to connect us as women and bring glory to the Lord.
That's so good.
Love to find more opportunities for that. Retreat being one of them.
You've said that twice now on this podcast, so now it's out there.
It is.
And you're going to have all kinds of questions about when, where, how, and what. And
I know. I might regret that.
But now you can't back away from it.
I can't back away.
Okay.
This holds me accountable because, I have plans I've been a part of retreats in the past. That was one of my things we did in Virginia. I was a part of a few, even just as a member of a church where I would serve just on that planning committee or whatever. And I love it because there is something about, and you don't have to go far, but there is something about that change of environment and just 24 hours away from, and right now there are seasons moms are in that if they just get 2 hours away,
right?
But we want 24 hours to really be able to turn off and just be fed and encouraged with each other, laughter, tears, all of it, have the freedom to have all of that. And I think, I'm putting it out there.
All right, good deal. I like it.
Women's retreat.
Women's retreat. You heard it here first. Okay, all right. Let's think through all things. I'd love for you to share, as you think about this season specifically. You could have said no to this, but you didn't, and you are now on this staff team. I'd love to hear kind of your answer to the question that I've asked everyone who has joined our staff team, and it is as simple as, if you could do anything else, you could have, but you haven't. You've done this, and you've stepped into this role. And we are incredibly blessed and excited to have you on this team. But the question is, why in the world would you want to work for the church? And specifically, why do you want to work for Grace Auburn?
Great question. I feel like I've had some time to think about this. So I think first, one thought that comes to mind is I am a firm believer that we need Christians everywhere. Not everyone is called to work at the church, and we need believers everywhere to shine the light of Christ wherever we are, communities, schools, the whole thing, right? So firm believer in that. But when I look back over my life. And like I mentioned, just from a high school teenager when God first rescued me, called me his own, and has developed and shaped my passions, giftings, desires over the years. I can't say no to that. I can't say no to it. Even if I wanted to, I couldn't. And so, because it's like you think about, like, yes, like you don't come to church to make a certain paycheck. You don't come to the church because, oh, well, no one sins on the staff. Like sin nature. Yeah.
Right.
There's no such thing. Sin is everywhere, as Matt just said yesterday, in us and around us. And but I love being here. I've been here, 6 weeks, and yes, challenges have come up, unexpected things, whatever it is. And even before I started and we're even having conversations, I was scared out of my mind.
Sure.
Was scared out of my mind. And but again, it's like you can just always point back to just the confidence coming straight from the Lord, because it is the way he has developed us, gifted us. And so it's been so affirming when there are certain people that even just this past Sunday, I was having a conversation and she said, I haven't even talked to you since you started this role, and this is perfect for you. And this is a woman, like a young college student, even that knows me. We've had maybe 4 or 5 conversations. I don't know, but it's very affirming to hear, because you do step in this role. You feel the weight of it and the pressure, and you think, I don't know if I'm the right one. And I really wrestled with that leading into this, and even looked into different opportunities of things that maybe I could do at the university to help pay for tuition for two in college. I mean, there's a lot that we're paying for right now. So, but again, I am just, when people have asked, oh, Karen, how's it going? And I say, I feel more alive right now than I have in a very long time. And I'm engaged in the world around me in a way that I know God has gifted and developed me in. And so it is, and to also say, like, I've been encouraged reading all these, we haven't talked about biblical counseling. I'll put that plug in there, but all these, this training that me and some others are going through, we counsel and we minister out of our own need. And that has been very apparent for me, because the things that I'm learning, growing in, I need them. My heart needs it. And so as I grow in that, my passion has always been, I want to give it. The grace that I've received over and over and over from the Lord, and the truth I've received over and over the years from the Lord, I want to give it.
That's good.
But I can't give what I don't have. So that's why I'm here.
That's good. Well, we are blessed to have you.
Thank you.
We've tried to, in as many different ways, remind one another that we don't lead from position, we lead from our person. And the Lord has uniquely shaped your person. And so we are incredibly honored to have you serve not only the women of this church in overseeing all things gatherings and Bible studies, but as you mentioned, a whole host of future for you when it comes to counseling. And the Lord knows the way that's all going to work itself out in terms of a work week and what that entails. So thank you. I really appreciate you. I appreciate your family. I appreciate you sharing with us here today on the podcast.
Thank you. I enjoyed that.
On behalf of the Grace Auburn Church family, thank you for listening to the Grace Auburn Church podcast. If you'd like more information about partnering with us and our mission, or ways that you can get connected, please go to our website, graceauburn.church.